Wish I could feel what I can't see. Float like a butterfly, scream like a banshee. Something's hiding in the pantry.
Hi everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking more Shop Miss A. So I hope that that doesn't bug you guys, but we got so much stuff to review and go through that I can't do it all in a trying new makeup video and things like that. So what I want to do here is actually go through a bunch of the palettes, some recently, some older that I have gotten from Shop Miss A that I haven't had the chance to review for you guys yet, and I want to go through them and tell you if they're good or not and show you swatches and such, so you can make that decision on your own if it's something that you want to grab or not, if they are still available. Palettes go quick on Shop Miss A. They do for sure. So if you like something that you see, get it quick, because they out of stock and then you never see it again. So if this is a video that interests you, let's go ahead and jump right into this. I don't know why I'm snappy today. I'm snappy. Woo! Alright, the first thing, they go together. I recently got these. These are the Amuse Metallic Eyes. I believe there is at least one more of these. Now, behind the scenes, I play with makeup all the time, every single night. It's almost a routine of mine that I play with makeup because it's my job. I need to review stuff. I need to see how things work. I need to see the formula. I need to see the lasting power. And sometimes I just don't want to do that and go around my house cleaning when I have makeup on, because it breaks me out. It's just not a good fun time. So I do it at night. But these are two ones that I made a look with at nighttime using these, and they were not too bad, but I will tell you that they are better used with the actual weird applicator from back in the old days. They are better used with that, and I've never said that in my life, never thought I would. But they're great on their own, but if you really want the pigment to come out of these, if you want that solid yellow, you have to use the actual sponge applicator. So that's crazy, right? I had to do the same thing with this one, and they do start to hard pan a little bit, and the sponge will actually help that out as well and get past all of that. So, well, they're not the best, you know, they're not perfection. They are still usable, and I like them. They're going to be staying in my collection. Mostly probably this one, but this one here, what, Rose Gold, I like it a lot. It's just I have it in so many other palettes. I don't know if it's one I will hold on to, but not because it's bad. Definitely not because it's bad, just because it's not the best one I have. Next, I want to talk about this palette from Zuri. I believe that this is still available. This is their Flawless Shaping and Strobing Face Contouring and Highlight Palette. Comes with 4 shades here. So you get a bronzer, a pretty sparkly white shade, you know, the contour shade, and then this powder here. Now, this is only $1, and I definitely think that it's worth having, but not for any of these. These 3 shades, they're garbage. They don't work well. They don't blend well. They're not even really, like, you can't really see them. And if you work them up to a way where you can, it's too muddy and it's not a good look. The highlighter is nothing but glitter that flies everywhere. But this shade here at the end is the reason why I will keep this palette. And I will probably use this shade up, because this shade is such a soft glow. It's like a glowish shimmer. I mean, it's so freaking beautiful, you guys. It's so pretty, so soft texture. It's so easy to blend that it reminds me so much of an Hourglass, like ambient lighting powder, and it's almost better. So, well, the palette is kind of crud. This shade is why I keep it and why I would recommend getting it, because it's only $1. So even if you only use one shade out of it, it's still worth that $1. So yeah, I get it. Next, I want to talk about these 3 bad boys recently hauled. These are also from Amuse that have just recently come out, so hopefully they're not all out of stock. I got 3 of them. I think that's all there was, but I'm not positive. The first one here, I wish I knew what they would at least say what colors they are, but the orange ones. Once again, these are ones that I played around with, and they are so completely usable with your own brushes. But that sponge sure does help, especially with the shimmer shades. It really does help bring out the pigment of the shimmer. And it also, I've noticed, helps blend the mattes. It makes them more blendable. You can place them more specifically where you want them. This black is something I really do think if you're a warm tone person, you should get this palette right here, especially if you are a beginner with makeup or you're not used to using blacks or scared of blacks. I think you need to get this palette because this black is a very soft, almost, I almost want to say like a putty, but it's not. It's just very soft, so blendable that you have to build it up. The first time you use it, it's going to start looking gray, but you need to keep packing it on to get a really beautiful kind of satin black. But that's how you want a black. You want it to have to be built up because you can put more on always, but you can't take it off, if you know what I mean. So it's really easy to use the black, and it works really, really good. And all the other shades are great too in this one. So I loved the orange one. This one, by far my favorite. The green turquoise with that gold, the sea foam. This is a palette to get. This is a palette to get, you guys. It is so good. It's so, so good. So I wish I knew the names of them. It's killing me. I will find it and I will link it down below for you guys, but still. And then lastly, the purple one. The purple one was what originally caught my eye. Now, the purple one is very, very powdery. Kicks up a lot. It's not my favorite out of the bunch, but it's still really, really pretty. So I still will be keeping it. It's just not my favorite. It's not the purple palette that I was looking for. But I'm going to keep it because it's really good. It is. And I still will use it. I love this shade here. Love it. So these palettes, definitely a go if you were eyeing them and you didn't know what really to do. But I recommend that you play around with them and find the way that they work the best for you on your eyes, because they are cheaper shadows. So you will have to learn how to work around little issues that cheaper shadows have. So for cheaper shadows, so far everything I've said is fantastic and definitely worth having. Now let's move on to this one. I don't know if you guys remember that I hauled this or not, but this is the Wildflower. It's from A2O. It comes all separate. You get, this is like a Z palette almost, and they have them for sale as well. And then you get the shadows separately and you put them in. This is kind of hard to find. This is a beautiful palette. Like, this palette is so beautiful. I mean, it's so, it's just like, where is it? Where'd you go? It's kind of like this palette for me with that blue and that green, but this also has like not purples, oranges and pinks, and then this green like corduroy. The only thing is that honestly, the shimmers aren't as good as I thought they were going to be. The shimmers. But if you wet your brush, they're like brought to life. The mattes are amazing. The mattes are amazing, but the shimmers do need a little help with this palette. So, but the colors, aren't they like, I just love it. I love it. I love everything about it. Definitely a palette to get. And then lastly, I want to talk about this. This is also a newer palette that I got. This is the 8 Palette Brows and Shadow from Santee. Santee, let me take this, open it up here and show it to you guys. Obviously, I'm on a purple kick because I've never really gravitated too much towards purple on eyeshadows. I have purple in all of my eyeshadow palettes, but I've never really gravitated towards them. And lately I feel like I want to. So I've been grabbing a lot of purples. This palette, you cannot use the sponges. You cannot use the brow pencil here. This that they have given you for your brows. Don't do it. It will hurt. I tried it. It hurt. Of course, you can use the sponge applicator because with cheaper shadows, they actually perform better. This is supposed to be the brow powder. The brow powder is actually very good, and you can also use it as a eyeshadow if you want. This white putty, however, is garbage. I can barely get it to come out. Kind of reminds me of Halloween costume paint, you know, but it won't come out. It won't come out. It doesn't do anything. It won't spread. I think it's supposed to be like you put it over your eye as a primer. Do not pay any mind to that. You see no white in this palette. Everything else is perfection. As eyeshadows, or a brow powder if you really want to get into it just for the brow powder. The shadows are amazing, beautiful. Okay, but the whole eyebrow aspect of it and the eye primer aspect of it, no. So, I don't know, there's like no and yeses, you know? Like every palette I would recommend, but it depends on your preference. Like, were you wanting this to be where the primer and the eyebrow powder was like amazing and that was your decision on whether you get it or not, then you won't want it. If you care about the dollar and that, you know, you just care about the eyeshadows, you're going to love it because the shadows are beautiful. Gorgeous. So, that is everything that I'm going to review so far for shopmissa with their palettes. These metallic eyes from Amuse are very good, but I definitely weirdly recommend using the sponge applicator just like with these ones, which are also worth getting. But if you're going to use the shimmers, either wet your brush that you're using or use those sponges, because those sponges just bring out the pigment so easily, and I kind of wanted to like get mad at myself a little bit because I'm like, I've always scoffed at them and thrown them out and been like, I don't need that. I have my own brushes. There's a reason why they're in there. Sometimes they can be helpful. I would highly recommend this palette if it's still available because of just that shade. I would. I think it's better than Hourglass. I really, really do. And I think that it's worth it just for that shade. Who knows, maybe the other three will work for you. You don't even know, you know? And then this one, of course, we just went over. And then this one. This is really it's up to whether you like the color scheme or not, because you do have to work with these. So if you don't like the color of this, then it's a no-go for you. But they do have other single shades and other Z palettes, so you can make your own if you want to. So that is everything that I'm going to talk about in this video. I do have way more shopmissa shadows that I'm still testing out, reviewing, and you're going to be seeing more of these. Let me know if you like this specific video with just reviewing AOA or AOA. I always mix that up. Shopmissa eye palettes or makeup or anything like that. Let me know if you guys like that specifically, and I will keep doing it. Give this video a thumbs up as well, and let me know in the comments if this is something to be continued. I will leave everything listed and linked for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, I ain't going nowhere. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.